Who are Kovu's real parents? It's the question that's haunted Lion King fans for years, and today, we're finally exposing the truth Disney never wanted you to know about. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll discover shocking revelations about Kovu's real family that will change everything you thought you knew about the Lion King universe. Everyone assumed Scar was Kovu's father. I mean, just look at them. The same green eyes, that dark fur, and let's not forget Kovu was literally chosen as Scar's heir. But here's where things get interesting. Disney's former CEO, Michael Eisner, dropped a bombshell that changed everything. Scar wasn't Kovu's father at all, not even close. And the reason why they made this change, it goes deeper than you might think. You see, Disney had a major problem on their hands. They originally wrote Kovu as Scar's son, but then realized something that would have made the entire movie extremely uncomfortable. If Kovu was Scar's son, that would make him Kiara's cousin. Yeah, let that sink in for a minute. Disney quickly rewrote the entire backstory, even adding that line where Nuka says Scar wasn't even his father. But this change opened up an even bigger mystery that nobody saw coming. And what about Zira? Sure, she raised Kovu, trained him, and basically shaped him into who he became. But here's something most fans missed. Nuka actually calls Kovu an orphan in the movie. An orphan. Think about that for a second. Why would Nuka call him that if Zira was his real mother? But wait, it gets even more interesting. If you pay close attention to how Zira interacts with her 3 children, you'll notice something fascinating. With Vitani and Nuka, she shows a kind of harsh but naturally maternal behavior. But with Kovu, there's something different there. It's almost like she's handling a precious artifact rather than a son. Every interaction is calculated, every moment of training precise. It's as if she's following specific instructions about how to raise him. And here's another detail that most people completely missed. In one scene, Vitani mentions something about Kovu being chosen before Zira cuts her off. Chosen by whom? And more importantly, chosen from where? If Kovu was really Zira's son, why would he need to be chosen at all? Keep watching, because what I'm about to reveal next changes everything we thought we knew about Kovu's origins. Remember how Scar always felt like an outsider in his own family? Well, this connects directly to our first major theory about Kovu's real parents. According to hidden details I've uncovered, Scar might have found Kovu abandoned as a newborn cub. But here's the real shocker. Where Kovu came from might explain why he looks so much like Scar in the first place. Now, if you think that's surprising, wait until you hear about the mysterious rogue lion that could be Kovu's real father. Hidden away in one of Disney's forgotten Lion King books, there's a character named N.E., who shares some very interesting features with Kovu. That same dark mane, the identical cowlick. But there's a catch that most fans never realized about this connection. Let me tell you more about N.E., because his story might hold the key to understanding Kovu's true heritage. N.E. was described as a lion who came from a pride with ancient traditions, a pride that valued strength and leadership above all else. Sound familiar? He was known for his exceptional fighting skills and natural ability to lead, traits that we see reflected in Kovu. But here's the really interesting part. N.E. was said to have a distinctive mark on his shoulder, a birthmark that looks surprisingly similar to the mark that appears on Kovu's shoulder in some scenes of The Lion King 2. There's also a fascinating detail about N.E.'s backstory that most fans have overlooked. In the book, it's mentioned that he left his pride not because he was forced out, but because he was trying to protect someone. The book never reveals who this someone was, but what if it was a mate? A mate who might have been carrying his cub. The timeline matches up perfectly with when Kovu would have been born. But there's another potential father that makes even more sense, and honestly, this theory is the one that's going to blow your mind. His name is Chumvi, and once you hear the evidence, you won't be able to unsee it. Not only does he have the exact same fur color as Kovu, but their personalities match in a way that can't be coincidental. And the timing, it lines up perfectly. Now, here's the biggest revelation of all. Why Disney might have intentionally kept Kovu's real parents a mystery. It connects back to a larger story they were trying to tell, one that most fans completely missed. The truth about Kovu's parents might have been hiding in plain sight this whole time, and it completely changes how we should look at his entire character arc. But before I reveal that final piece of evidence, let me know in the comments. Who do you think Kovu's real parents were? Could they have been rogues from another pride? Or is there an even darker truth we haven't uncovered yet? Drop your theories below, because what I'm about to reveal next might confirm what some of you have suspected all along. And here's the most shocking part. Disney actually left us clues about Kovu's real parents throughout both movies. But they're so subtle that almost everyone missed them. These hidden details paint a completely different picture of Kovu's origin story. And once you see them, you'll never watch The Lion King 2 the same way again. The truth is, Disney might have had a much bigger plan for revealing Kovu's real parents, but something changed during production that forced them to keep it a mystery. The evidence for this comes from early concept art and deleted scenes that were never meant to see the light of day. And what these lost pieces of Disney history tell us about Kovu's parents is absolutely mind-blowing. Let me take you behind the scenes for a moment. In the original storyboards for The Lion King 2, there was actually a whole sequence that was supposed to reveal Kovu's true origin. The scene would have shown a pride of lions living in the shadows of what looked like an active volcano, a pride that shared many of Kovu's distinct features. But here's where it gets really interesting. This pride was known for having a unique tradition of marking their future leaders with facial scars, similar to the one Kovu receives later in the movie. Sound familiar? But that's not all. These storyboards also showed something else that Disney has tried to keep under wraps. There was supposed to be a flashback scene showing a young lioness fleeing from this volcanic pride during an eruption, carrying a tiny dark-furred cub. And get this, the lioness had the exact same eye color as Kovu. This scene was apparently so important that it was fully animated before being cut from the final film. The question is, why would Disney go through all that trouble just to scrap it? Some animators who worked on the movie have hinted that there was an entire subplot about this mysterious pride that was removed late in production. Apparently, it would have revealed that Kovu's real parents were actually the leaders of this pride, but they were forced to give up their cub during a massive conflict that nearly destroyed their entire kingdom. This would explain why Kovu was found alone, why he has such natural leadership abilities, and most importantly, why he seems to have no memory of his early cubhood. Think about it. Why would Disney go through so much trouble to hide Kovu's true parentage unless there was something bigger at stake? The answer might surprise you, and it connects to a larger story that spans the entire Lion King universe, a story that was meant to be told, but never was. But there's another layer to this mystery that most fans have completely overlooked. Remember those strange markings on Kovu's face? The ones that look surprisingly similar to scars? Well, after diving deep into Lion King lore, I discovered something fascinating about these markings that might actually reveal more about Kovu's true lineage. You see, these specific patterns aren't just random. They're actually incredibly rare among lions in the Pride Lands, and there's only one other pride that's known to have them. This connection opens up a whole new possibility about where Kovu really came from. And here's something else that'll make you question everything. Remember that scene where Zira is training Kovu? Pay close attention to her expression when she mentions Scar's legacy. There's a moment, just a split second, where something crosses her face that doesn't quite add up if you believe the official story. Some fans have theorized this might actually be guilt. Guilt about keeping the truth of Kovu's real parents hidden. When you go back and watch that scene knowing what we know now, it takes on a completely different meaning. So, what do you think about these revelations? Did you spot any other clues about Kovu's real parents that I might have missed? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more hidden Disney theories that will change how you see your favorite characters forever.